we had conversations with a lot of our colleagues in municipal government about the issue associated with drivers, but people were not really sure where this was all going to land. And once it became pretty clear that there were going to be some communities that would be shorthanded, it wasn't going to be a vehicle issue, it was going to be people with CDLs. We started talking to the Guard about, I mean, they have people who drive trucks and other vehicles and have CDL licenses, either as Guards people or in their job as a civilian. And so we asked a bunch of these communities if they'd be interested in having Guard people drive vehicles for them, especially the smaller vehicles, the smaller buses, which are the ones that are really the biggest concern here. And a bunch of communities said, if you can figure out, the legal issues, the paperwork, and all the rest, that would be great. And so we have about 250 Guards people who qualify to do this. We're going through the process of making sure they get vetted through all the legal and procedural means that we need to get them through. But there are a bunch of communities that have said they're interested in this, and we're glad to be able to help because it's important. Boston, we offered the service to Boston. Boston said that at this time they didn't want it now, but they were going to think about it.
Did all districts have the opportunity to apply to this? I know a lot of people are reacting like, well, why didn't my district, why didn't my city take advantage of it?
I think there were 4 or 5 communities, Lowell and Lawrence. I can't remember if Worcester was in the mix or not.
Worcester
was not. Chelsea. There are a bunch of communities that just raised this with us, and to the extent that we can find people who qualify and who are able to do it, we'll try to serve as many communities as we can, because obviously the goal here is to try to make sure if we have vehicles, we put people in them who are qualified to drive them and do what we can to make sure kids can get to school, because obviously the driver shortage is creating some real issues.
What does this cost in phase 4?
I don't know what it's cost at this point, but I can tell you that like many other things associated with COVID, this back to school stuff will be reimbursed by the feds.